Welcome into the Cup Check Podcast, your home for the hottest sports takes, only the most serious of sports content, and uncancelable humor. I'm excited for this episode. Bailey, how you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited for this too. A lot of good topics to discuss, so let's get into it.
We're also testing the new name, obviously, we're going forward with from now on. This is the first one with the new name.
Right.
Siren going on the whole time. I really like the lighting. If it bugs the crap out of you,
let us know in the comments for sure.
And for those just listening on the podcast app, obviously, don't let us know because you can't see it. Blindly rank these 5 cartoon characters.
Let's do it.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Do you know how you're going to rank them?
1 through 5, I'm assuming.
What? All right, so first one you got, Sandy Cheeks.
Sandy Cheeks. You know, Sandy Cheeks, I really like her personality. Very friendly. Very country, though.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. There's a lot of other attributes about Sandy Cheeks I love. I'm going to put it right at 3, Sandy Cheeks.
It's a fair spot. It's also a really safe play for you to start off with 3. Second one I got for you is Vanessa from Phineas and Ferb.
Vanessa from Phineas and Ferb, is that the loud, obnoxious sister?
That is not. That's the daughter of Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
All right, not too much going on with Vanessa and Phineas and Ferb.
Really?
Definitely Ferb is going on there. Good dynamic. Ferb always risen up Vanessa. Not too crazy. I'm going to put her at 4.
You're ranking off personality, aren't you?
Yes.
Had a feeling. Third one I got for you is Vicky from The Fairly Odd Parents.
Vicky, not a fan of her character, but I think it ties into who Timmy Turner is as a character into the show. Can't go wrong. Helps add to Timmy Turner's character. I'm going to put her at 5, though.
Not going to lie to you. This is my red flag. I was addicted to Vicky from Timmy Turner. And not just the looks, too. Like, I do love me a ginger, but the personality is just, I don't know.
She got those pink eyes, too. Pretty rare.
They are rare. You got the 1 and the 2 spot open. I think you're going to like who I'm hitting you with next. You got Lola from Shark Tales.
I like Lola a lot. Not much to say other than she's my number 1.
Yeah, easy.
Lola's a knockout for sure.
You planned it right. It's definitely the way to go. Last one you got to put her at the 2 spot is Kim Possible.
Yeah, I'm happy with putting Kim at the 2 spot.
You a fan of Kim?
Big fan of Kim. Great ringtone. Great theme song. I think Kim's got a very adventurous and risque attitude and personality.
How do you feel about the list as a whole?
As a whole, I love my list. I think it's perfect. Maybe switch out Sandy Cheeks at the 2 with Kim. Other than that, can't go wrong.
Yeah, I think Vanessa definitely a little bit too low for me. Can you guess what I based my list off of? They all have something in common for me.
They are females.
Attractive females.
Attractive females. I don't know about Sandy Cheeks, but maybe some...
Maybe it could be the personality.
Yeah, probably.
Or the last name. I don't know.
All right, are you ready for your top 5 rankings?
I'm so ready right now.
All right, coming in at number 5, we got Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Let me think about what I'm going to rank this by first. I think I'm just going to go by how fun the character is. Dr. Doofenshmirtz, I really don't like the voice. The voice is doing too many things to me. The voice really bugs me, but I'm going to put him at the 4 spot.
Can't go wrong with that nice jingle, too, right before we cut into Dr. Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
It is a great jingle. I can't deny it, but I don't think he made the jingle.
It's a good jingle, though.
Great
All right, at number 4, we got Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, that's easy for me. I'm putting her at 5.
Wow.
Not much going on for her. I don't love the animations in Bob's Burgers, but Tina...
You hating on a member of the LGBTQIA plus community?
Who do you got next?
All right, at number 3, we got Donald Duck.
Ooh. Did you go with annoying voices? Is this your theme?
I'm on that theme right now. So far, yeah.
Donald Duck. I got to put him at 3. I'm not a fan of him either. I'm really hoping you have some more fun characters going forward.
All right, at number 2, we got Bart Simpson.
Man, another annoying character. My goodness. Man, I'm holding out. I'm going to put him at 2.
All right. For our last cartoon character, you got to put him at number 1. We got Jake the dog from Adventure Time. Never seen Adventure Time?
No, I know what the dog looks like. I can picture Adventure Time. But I think Adventure Time is the embodiment of a BRAINROT cartoon, so I never watched it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of visuals and shape-shifting, especially for Jake the dog.
Yeah, BRAINROT, I think that show, Adventure Time, along with Rick and Morty, definitely do something to the brain.
Was big on the Adventure Time train, definitely not on the Rick and Morty, though.
No, you don't watch Rick and Morty?
I tried getting into it. I feel like it's kind of an episode you have to watch in order. And, for me, it's pretty difficult task.
There's a lot of parents out there that won't let their kids watch SpongeBob, which is crazy to me because there's these shows like these, like Adventure Time and Rick and Morty, that they probably let their kids watch, and they just hating on SpongeBob.
Yeah, I mean, as I get older, I do kind of understand it more with all the innuendos, Sandy Cheeks, Krusty Krab.
Your parents never let you watch SpongeBob, did they?
No, they did, but, you know, had a lot of friends where I just couldn't enjoy SpongeBob, and it really pissed me off, and I didn't invite them for a follow-up playdate after that.
Right. Can't invite them to the SpongeBob-themed birthday party.
Absolutely not.
You don't know SpongeBob.
Right. Right. Introducing our next segment, we got the NFL best room in the league for every position. We're going to go down from quarterback all the way down to special teams.
I'm excited for this one. I think we're going to definitely be on the same page as far as some positions go, because, you know, some positions are just loaded up for certain teams, but I think we'll have some diversity here.
All right. Starting off at quarterback, I'll start. I got the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
So I originally had the Bills, and I still stand by the Bills potentially being the second or the first best, depending on how you value the backup situation. But I didn't realize the Chiefs had Carson Wentz.
The Chiefs do have Carson Wentz.
Right, so I was thinking Money Mitch, you know, the MVP, backing up Josh Allen, is a pretty darn good QB room. But Carson Wentz is, you know, he was a top-tier quarterback at one point. So
all you have to do is know the system if you're Carson Wentz and get the job done as a backup.
Yeah, I'd be terrified even if Pat Mahomes went out, you know, having Carson Wentz in there.
Pat Mahomes.
What do you got for wide receiver?
All right, wide receiver, I got Houston, just with all the additions this offseason.
Houston, I think, as far as depth goes, definitely has the receiver. I think they have the best wide receiver 4 in the league. And I love the addition of Steph Diggs. I know you're not as high on him as I am. I still think he's a top 10 receiver for sure still. But I struggle to put him there just because of how elite the Niners and the Bengals' top 2 receivers are. We were just talking about the Niners earlier today.
Ricky Pearsall.
I forgot they drafted Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, unbelievable.
One of my favorite college football receivers is. I was really hoping he'd sneak into the second round for the Bills to take, and he went in the first before the Bills even picked, which he deserves it. He's a great receiver, and definitely the better white receiver in the draft out of him and Ladd McConkey.
You liked him better than Keon Coleman?
I did, yeah.
All right.
I do like him better than Keon Coleman.
Did Keon Coleman get picked before Pearsall?
No, Keon was the first pick of the third. No, Keon was the first pick of the second round, but the Bills could have had Pearsall if they didn't trade back, technically.
Interesting.
To go to the Bengals, they also drafted a solid receiver, as you know, this year, Jermaine Burton in the third round. I love adding him to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. And we were talking the other day, like the 3 different type of personalities those 3 receivers have is super drastic. Jamar, big yak guy. T. Higgins, go up and get it guy. And Jermaine Burton can stretch a football field. So all Alabama fans know all about that. So
you can put Jamar in the slot and then put Burton as the X on the outside or switch him out. I don't know how Burton will do in the slot replacing Tyler Boyd, but a lot of people forget we drafted a great slot out of Purdue, I believe, in Charlie Jones.
So yeah. You still have Trent Irwin too, huh?
Trent Irwin, and we got Yoshivas, who had a pretty good year last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Niners obviously Debo Ayuk for at least one more year, it seems like, to go along with Pearsall. And technically you can't count Kittle in that room, but they have just so many targets for Brock Purdy.
Absolutely. All right, going into the running back department, I got 49ers.
You know, I was just thinking this before you said this. I don't have the Niners as my running back room. If you take into account fullback as well, which is technically a running back, it might be the Niners. It also might be the Ravens. You know, they have a solid fullback to go along with Derrick Henry as well.
Yeah, Patrick Ricard.
Yeah, but I have listed on here, I have the Detroit Lions. I think that's the easy answer with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. I also have the Dolphins. I know we had a couple injuries last year, but Raheem Mostert as well as Devin Achane last year. Obviously, Achane broke through in the fantasy football realm, but 2 speedy backs like that, the ability to flip them back and forth on the field will kill defenses.
Absolutely. I like your answer too. All right, for tight ends, I also have the San Francisco 49ers. I think the deeper we go down this list, the worse Purdy looks.
Yeah, you really love the Niners, huh?
I love the Niners.
And you love their tight end?
I love their tight end a lot. Great pass blocking tight end.
Right.
Not great for betting on George Kittle on Prize Picks or playing fantasy. Very, very, very volatile as far as pass targets go.
Mm-hmm. Volatile, but kind of like we saw Jason Tatum ball out tonight in Game 3. Didn't have, you know, a big Game 1 or 2. He's kind of similar in that sense. Like, does all the dirty work, is always going to be valuable even on nights that he's not scoring. I think the same is for George Kittle.
Yeah, unfortunately, while I was editing our first video, we had the Mavs sweeping the Celtics, and they have not. We're down 0-3.
I never said that.
We never said that.
So that was my twin brother. I have I have the Baltimore Ravens on here. Isaiah Likely stepped in and balled out last year when Mark Andrews was out. Mark Andrews, obviously a top 5 tight end. I also have sleeper pick here, Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh, Michael
Mayer. I think it's a lethal duo. A lot of people are like, oh, Michael Mayer is just going to sit the bench. Like, you're as dumb as the Raiders organization is, they're not that dumb. They're not going to sit him. It's going to be 12 personnel all year long.
Absolutely. It's a pretty dangerous tight end combo there. All right, let's go into O-line. I got the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions solid. Penei Sewell, obviously, at right tackle, heading it up. They, solid center in there as well, Ragnow. I got the Chiefs. I know they kind of had some flopping tackles over the past couple of years. Fact of the matter is they have a top 3 center. They have 2 top 3 guards, in my opinion. I was so upset when they drafted Creed Humphrey. I wanted him so bad. And it makes a big difference. Obviously, they get big, lengthy tackles to try to at least, bump and give Mahomes some time. But a quarterback that has the ability to back up 10, 15 yards like Mahomes, all he needs is a solid front 3. That's all that really matters.
Especially for as far as coaching goes, you can just say, hey, Pat Mahomes is going to step up. He trusts his front 3. And then the tackles, you could just dump your rusher off the end of the field.
Right.
And, those edge defenders got a lot of steps to get in before getting to Mahomes.
You talk about having to defend, like when you get towards the red zone, how harder it is for the offense to score because there's less for the defense to defend. As Mahomes steps back and he drops back 10, 15 yards, he just stretches that field to make it that much harder for the defense to defend, and it tends to work. I mean, last year he did not throw a high yards per attempt clip at all, but it worked because he would back up, they'd let everyone get tired, rush the passer, he'd dump it off to someone, they'd take it for 15 yards.
Yeah, so rule of thumb, the deeper you get into the Chiefs' offense, you realize how garbage Patrick Mahomes is as a player.
Yeah, I mean, I still have him top 20 for sure.
But. Yeah, definitely top 20. It's kind of teetering that line, though. All right, let's get into the defensive tackle rooms. My list of teams so far is pretty boring. I'm using the same teams. I got Detroit again.
DJ Reader, new addition. I saw firsthand as a Bengals fan what he could do, especially in the run. Super underrated. Yeah, he single-handedly destroyed the Bills in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and I'm very happy to have him out of the AFC and not have to face him in the playoffs. We'll see how the torn quad comes back together for him. I have the Washington Commanders, De'Aaron Payne, Jonathan Allen, 2 probably top 10 D tackles, not really going to be top 5. Having those 2 together next to each other, especially when they had Sweat and Chase Young last year. I mean, their D-line was lethal. I'm really surprised they blew it up.
Great decision for them to get rid of Chase Young also. He was pretty much garbage for the Niners after that.
Well, he was good for the Redskins, though.
Yeah, he was pretty good for the Redskins. All right, let's get into edge rushers. Who do you got?
I'm going with the best pair on paper, and that's the Las Vegas Raiders. Khalil Mack, one of my favorite players, came out of Buffalo, University of Buffalo, obviously a big fan of him. I still think he produces at a high volume. I wish Joey Bosa was a little bit healthier going forward, but those 2 paired together, I mean, they're taking up a lot of money to not be producing, and they do produce when they're healthy.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I got the Dallas Cowboys, Micah Parsons.
Right.
Can't really go wrong. I don't know why Micah Parsons is sitting behind a microphone for podcasts, because he's about just as good as you and me, if not worse. So.
Did you hear Micah Parsons had Mookie Betts on? I don't know if Mookie part of that show?
I don't think so. I think it's just Stroud.
Must have had a guest star or something. Mookie Betts was talking with Micah Parsons, and Parsons said that he thinks he could bat at least 100 in the MLB tomorrow. And Mookie Betts had the funniest reply of all time and said he'd have 500 at bats and have 0 hits.
That's I don't even know if he'd have. Wait, how many hits?
0.
Oh, 0 hits. Yeah, I think he would have 0 hits as well. I don't know. I think he could get on base at least once for 500 at bats.
I don't know if he can make contact.
I got him for 3 foul tips.
Yeah.
4 ground outs and 1 on base error.
Do you think he can hit it hard enough for an error?
Yeah, probably comes off the bat pretty hard.
Yeah. Really sure. Not really sure. I think he definitely needs to stick to rushing the passer and harassing teammates in the locker room.
Right, let's get into linebacker rooms. Who do you got?
It's too easy. Niners.
I could have put the Niners too, but I wanted to change it up a little bit. I got Washington. I like Bobby Wagner a lot. He's getting old, but his tandem linebacker, not sure of his name, was in the top 10 linebackers for PFF.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Washington.
Yeah. Obviously, my pick with the Niners, Greenlaw, I think him going on the Super Bowl cost them that game. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everyone loves Fred Warner. I think a lot of it does have to do with how good and disruptive that D-line is. But Fred Warner can't take it away from him until he proves otherwise.
Another reason that Patrick Mahomes is not top 10.
What does that have to do with Pat Mahomes?
The Super Bowl?
Oh, Trent Greenlaw or Dre Greenlaw.
You know, the deeper we get into these things,
Yeah,
Patrick Mahomes, where's the greatness?
Yeah, I don't really think Mahomes has played too well in Super Bowls up to this point, but he plays well in the regular season, so that definitely counts.
We are joking. Patrick Mahomes is the best in the league, whether we want to
I'm not joking.
admit that or not.
I'm not joking. He sucked in 3 of the 4 Super Bowls.
Let's get into corners, where I have, again, the San Francisco 49ers. They got Charvarius Ward leading that room. Surprisingly, coming from the Chiefs, it's Jamar Chase's son. And then
Jamar Chase's son,
kind of blanking on their second guy. But
yeah, they lost Snead, too, this offseason. Stephon Diggs' father, but they're in the same division now again.
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, for cornerbacks, I have 2 here. I have the Browns. Solid duo there with Ward. Solid duo there, headed up by Ward. I also have the Jets, DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner. Solid little duo going on there.
Yeah, dark horse for me also is the Bears. I think they have the best corner in the league.
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson definitely slept on for sure.
And then the Seahawks as well. Not to get too deep into the rabbit hole, but rookie, who is the rookie? Witherspoon.
Spoon. Yeah, a little spoony.
Get into safeties here. I originally had Atlanta, changed mine to Cincinnati due to the addition of Von Bell returning.
Yeah, I'm not agreeing with the Bengals take there at all. They don't.
You don't like it?
No, not really. I can't find a lot of great tandems I can't find a lot of great tandems of safeties, but I think Steelers and Ravens definitely have the 2 best safeties in the league.
Well, we got one of the Ravens safeties, Geno Stone, who had a breakout year last year.
You did, but you didn't get Kyle Hamilton.
That's a good point. I think Von Bell in his prime might be better. Because Kyle Hamilton is a strong safety,
Hamilton?
right? Yeah.
It's a hot take. Kyle Hamilton, straight baller.
Let's move on to special teams. Who do you got?
Special teams, special players.
No, I can't. Whenever I see someone do a sketch team or anything sketch now, it's just so cringe. I hate when I'm in public. I was at a Luke Combs concert and everyone was drunk. They're like, "What's up, brother? What's up?" And I'm like, "Shut up."
Yeah, but I'm so far behind that I'm just getting in. Like, everyone was doing
That's
this.
good. Not for you.
Ago.
I'm proud of you.
I found out who he was about a month ago, so I'm just getting into the. I'll be out of it in a month. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's good.
Who do you have for special teams?
For special teams, I got the team with the best average kickoff return yardage and the leader in NFL special teams scoring last year. I got the Houston Texans.
Houston Texans. Interesting choice. I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball at you here. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Definitely the most controversial special teams room in the league, but I also think they have a safer best. Harrison Butker's been really consistent. They signed the punt god in the offseason. I hated to see him go as a Bills fan, but I love to see him get an opportunity. So they got Matt Ariza going this year as their punter.
Would you want to be Harrison Butker's wife if you were a woman? You don't have to answer if you don't want.
Probably, because I'd be rich.
All right, let's move on to our next segment, Death Row Meals. If you were on death row, you were going to die. This is your last day on earth. What's your meal going to be?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask what would put me on death row. Interesting. You said last meal. How many items do I get? How many items do people on death row normally get?
I'll give you a couple courses and a dessert since it's prison. I can't go too crazy.
Right. Just quick side note, some of the weirder things that people have eaten. Have you heard of that guy that ate the Bible?
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, he ate a whole Bible before he got put on death row.
Was that to get into heaven or to disrespect the Bible?
I don't really know. He looked, based by his face, that it would be to disrespect the Bible, but maybe he was repenting in a very, I'll say, unique way.
I mean, maybe he was just trying to take in God's word.
Yeah.
Never know.
So the easy one for me is the dessert is going to be ice cream of some sort. Don't exactly know what flavor I would do. Maybe like a Haagen-Dazs pineapple coconut or some sort of Perry's ice cream. Maybe Superhero from Perry's ice cream, if anyone knows Perry's ice cream.
Just tried that piece of cake ice cream. Is that Perry's or is that?
Piece of cake is Perry's. Perry's is ballin', right?
Perry's is unbelievable. The Bills ice cream, the Sabres ice cream, and then the piece of cake ice cream. Pretty good.
Did you choke on the Bills ice cream?
I did choke on the Bills ice cream for some reason. I don't know why.
Choking hazard.
Keeps happening every time. But
yeah, I kind of got a boring response as far as the coursing goes. Probably just a mid-rare ribeye, maybe a chicken cordon bleu, maybe a little bit of cracker chicken, so something that my mom makes. And then for a side, one of the unique things that I really want to taste or would want to taste before I die again would be passion fruit, which is a very unique tasting fruit. I don't know if anyone's ever had it. Super sour. It kind of looks like you're eating fish eggs. Sounds disgusting, I know, but until you try it, just bear with me here.
Yeah, great. Love passion fruit. For mine, I'm going Cincinnati style all the way with Skyline chili. I think I'll mix in some Gold Star Conies and then have a Skyline 4-way. If you're in Cincinnati...
You're going to have a what?
A...
Skyline 4-way?
Skyline 4-way, which is spaghetti noodles, Skyline chili.
I don't know if they allow people on death row to do that.
I mean, I've seen some crazy death row meals.
In prison, they definitely allow 4-ways, but I don't know on death row. They keep them pretty locked up.
Well, hopefully they'll lock me up in Cincinnati when they put me down.
Yeah, I don't think we're talking about the same thing right now.
I don't either. All right, and for my dessert, I'm going to go with Grater's ice cream, black raspberry chocolate chip. Oprah Winfrey rated that ice cream and flavor the best in the nation.
Interesting. And you were going to go off Oprah?
Yeah.
Well, she does look like she eats a lot of ice cream.
Yeah.
If Lizzo ever came out with her favorite ice cream ranked in the world, I would definitely consider that.
Yeah, I'm definitely respecting her food opinion all around.
Yeah. Not the health benefits of it, but...
Yeah, for sure.
Bailey, Caitlin Clark is taking the league by storm. Everyone knows the name Caitlin Clark now. It's turning a lot of people into WNBA fans, but there's been a lot of drama surrounding Caitlin Clark right now.
Yeah, a lot of drama. She used to get beat up for bringing relevancy to the WNBA. Don't know why.
It's so sad, too, because the biggest issue is, do you think... I know how I feel about this, but do you think that this is just a rookie welcome call? This happens to every player in every league? Or do you think it's a little bit more extreme with Caitlin Clark?
Yeah, it's definitely a big jump across the line and where it should be.
Right.
I'm more honestly surprised of the fact that her teammates don't stand up for her at all. Just kind of let it
disgraceful. Caitlin Clark's teammates, you're not relevant as it is. Why don't you make yourself relevant by defending the best player in the league? The reason you guys are getting private jets, all these other idiots in the WNBA like Angel Reese, Chennedy Carter, a.k.a. Sid the Sloth, and Jar Jar Binks, are trying to make themselves relevant by going after Caitlin. But why don't you step in and make yourself relevant by being the enforcer?
Yeah, now that you say that, it makes me think, like, you probably get a lot of new IG followers. Get yourself on Sports Center feeds if you shove that player to the ground.
Because Angel Reese, right, is probably the second most famous rookie in this class.
Yeah.
And why did she get famous?
Angel Reese got famous for being Caitlin Clark's daughter, correct?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And looking like Sid the Sloth. Mm-hmm. So
imagine beating a player who is the best player in college, probably ever for women's sports.
Right.
Has not been talking to you the whole game. And then you beat her and mock her with her own celebration that was pointed towards the girl she beat the round before.
Right. It doesn't really add up, but a lot of this drama in this WNBA is also not adding up because these players are really dumb. It's kind of like biting the hand that feeds them. Caitlin Clark is the reason that there's more notable people in the stands, that there's private jets, that there's people talking about WNBA, and you're mad about it. But is that just kind of a woman behavior to be jealous about another woman's success? Or are they just that dumb and they don't realize? Or are they trying to do it intentionally? Are they really smart and they know it's going to make them famous? Like Angel Reese said, I'll be the bad guy. Is she doing it intentionally? Another headline with Caitlin Clark is she's officially been left off of the women's Olympic basketball team.
That's unbelievable.
Right?
I'm not going to be watching them play, that's for sure.
Right, because hear me out. This is the reason. You're not going to guess the reason. It's unbelievable. The reason that they stated was they don't want Caitlin Clark's fans to be upset and cause disruption. Her sitting the bench most of the games. That's why they didn't put her on the roster.
I would probably cause disruption if they benched her in the Olympics.
It's interesting that
don't you want to win? What's the point of playing sports?
Yeah, like they're not trying to win. They're trying to do it the right way and let the veterans, like Diana Taurasi and that other idiot, they're both idiots. They think they're way better because they put in the time. I don't give a damn about that. You didn't put in the time in the gym. You put in the time in the league. There's a big, big difference. And the other thing is, you're letting you're letting fans influence who you're going to put on a team. But number two, why in the world would she be on the bench?
Yeah,
she's not going to be on the bench.
She's not going to be on the bench.
Makes no sense.
All right.
So kind of a little side thing I wanted to do, Bailey. He doesn't know that I'm about to ask him this, but can you name 10 WNBA players?
I will honestly try my hardest for the WNBA fans out there. I'm a big supporter of the WNBA now that Caitlin Clark is in the league. Mm-hmm. Also, Cameron Brink is in the league.
Yeah.
I like Cameron Brink.
Like her play?
I like her play, and I like her face.
Yeah. Did anyone see... Everyone's going crazy because Jimmy Butler tweeted 22 looks good in purple and yellow, thinking that he's going to go to the Lakers. No. He was spitting game.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler needs to stop talking to my girl like that.
Jimmy Butler got that crazy riz. Jimmy Buckets, I'm all in support of Jimmy Buckets if he actually comes back to the Sixers this offseason. If not, Tobias Harris over me.
All right, so I got my first two.
Two down.
I got Kelsey Plum just because of the Darren Waller news. I've been seeing a lot of good ghetto Gronk.
Have we talked about this yet? Kelsey Plum, like Darren Waller, obviously a very objectively good-looking man. Yeah. And going crazy. Everyone's like, he really fumbled Kelsey Plum. She's so bad. How do you fumble that? Kelsey Plum is not bad. She's okay.
Yeah, and also her personality from clips I've seen of her throwing popcorn in her face. You can just tell she sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, so she's not that hot to be geeking out. I'm sure Darren Waller... I'm sure his rebound was not as famous, but way more attractive.
Yeah, she kind of looks like a dude. I don't know why you said that hot. I don't even think she's hot.
I think her features are aesthetic, but I don't think it's all fitting together. If that makes sense. Just because she's a bigger kind of lady.
All right, I'm going to go.
Does that put you at 3? 4?
That puts me at 3.
Okay, you got 3?
I got Sue Bird.
Sue Bird plays? We'll give you legends too.
We can go all time.
If you want to say legend.
Because I need it.
You need it.
All right.
Go guard Sue Bird then.
Is Sky Moore a WNBA player? Sky Moore is a wide receiver for the Kansas.
Yep, that table too, buddy. You're cooked.
I'm cooked.
I should take one away for that.
You know, probably won't make a difference. And I don't think I'm getting a 10. Oh, it is.
Thank goodness heavens. All right, you're at 4, Bailey. You need to get it together. We mentioned 1 earlier. We mentioned 2 earlier that you haven't listed. The first one.
I got Angel Reese.
Number 5.
A.K.A. Sid the Sloth.
Okay.
This is where I'm starting to blank. Oh, I got Diana Taurasi.
Right. Idiot. Number 6.
I got Sabrina Ionescu.
Another idiot. 7.
I'm at 7. 3 more.
3 more.
I got...
You're missing Miss Russia.
Miss Russia.
Yeah. She got traded, but not in basketball.
Oh, I got Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner. Number 8. Worst trade of all time. We got fleeced.
Yeah, we got fleeced big time. It happens. It's okay.
Number 8. All right, 2 more.
2 more. This is the toughest 2 I've ever had to finish. I've never been as blank-minded as I am right now.
Blank space like Travis Kelce.
It's a good thing we're talking about women.
Yeah, what about Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar Binks,
The girl that pushed Caitlin Clark to the floor.
I don't know her name.
Kennedy Carter.
Yeah, would have never guessed that. But thanks for giving me that one.
9. You got 1 more.
1 more.
Oh, I can think of one.
You can think of one?
Yeah.
Can't think of one. Go ahead.
Candace Parker.
I tried my hardest. I really did.
We're going to draft Adam Sandler movies. Bailey, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm going to go first with Click.
What an absolutely awful selection.
What? You don't like Click? When I finished Click, it made me thankful for everything I have in life and not to take things for granted. Are we going down the list, starting at 1?
We're each drafting 5 players. My first pick, I'm going to go with the OG, one of my top 3 Adam Sandler movies ever. I'm going with Happy Gilmore.
All right. It's a good pick. Classic. Very Adam Sandler. I'm going to go with Grown Ups for my number 2. Great movie. They failed on the second one for sure.
Yeah, it kind of fell off late in their career, but in their prime, Grown Ups was definitely going at it. And a star-studded cast, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
My second pick, I'm going to go with what I'm repping right now, The Waterboy.
If you let Waterboy slide to my next pick, I probably would have taken him. I'm going to go with something newer. I'm going to go with Uncut Gems.
Going with more of the sophisticated Adam Sandler approach, huh? I know all the movie geeks out there were like, the reason behind that movie was all the movie geeks were saying Adam Sandler's not a good actor, his movies stink. Fact of the matter is, I have the same opinion on music. Fact of the matter is, people watch them, right? It's the same with songs. People listen to them. So all the people that are more knowledgeable on movies or more knowledgeable on music that say that song's not good, it's just mainstream. It's mainstream because it's good. People want to watch it.
I love the movie. I think it gave an impression of Adam Sandler as a bad guy in a case. Very selfish, but great character. You kind of see him in a new light, and I like that variety there. So that's why I picked him.
My third pick, I'm going to go with Big Daddy. Kind of one of the older Adam Sandler movies. I think it's hilarious and not super relatable, but relatable enough to the point where it's not one of those more out there Adam Sandler movies, but you definitely get encapsulated in all the humor, just like all the other ones.
Yeah, I'm a big Big Daddy fan. I think a lot of his best comedy is actually in that movie. Especially as a kid, you could watch it and understand. Yeah. Jokes fly over your head and hit your parents. I'm going to stick with the old, more current Adam Sandler. I'm going to go with Hustle, the basketball movie.
I've not seen that.
You have not seen that. It's amazing. It has Anthony Edwards making his first...
Oh, it's one of the newer ones?
Yeah. It has Anthony Edwards making his first role, kind of in a cutscene with on-court trash talk shots, and he did amazing. A lot of people loved Anthony Edwards there.
Adam Sandler actually really loves basketball in real life. I know it shows up in all his movies, but he came and hooped at my very local college back when I was in college while he was in town. It was kind of super cool.
Really? That's really cool. Yeah, I think with that movie, you can tell how much the guy loves basketball. Even outside of an actor standpoint, you could tell he's being authentically himself when he was talking about how much he loves the game. And it gave him a role as inside of the league, behind curtains, and kind of how that industry works and how cutthroat it can be. So that's my pick.
Give me Billy Madison.
Well, I'm so glad you picked Billy Madison. I wouldn't have had him at my 5, but he can easily be in my top 2. Great comedy in that movie.
Why are you happy I took it if you love it?
I just want it to be appreciated on our show.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Billy Madison, great movie. Probably wouldn't be able to make that type of movie nowadays with some of the humor in it, which is a shame, but definitely a classic.
Yeah, one of my favorite jokes. One of my favorite parts of that movie was when he was high and he was walking in on the penguin with, was it the girl he was trying to talk to? I don't even know. But he
the penguin was with the girl.
I see what's going on in here. And he's like, proceed.
He's so funny. This last one, Bailey. Are you going to go with Jack and Jill?
I'm definitely not going to go with Jack and Jill. I liked Jack and Jill when I was a kid.
I hated it.
But as I got older, I was like, this movie sucks. Definitely missed there. I'm going to go with Mr. Deeds. Can't really go wrong.
It's a great pick. It's a great pick. So this is a tough one for me. I think I'm going to go with the safer pick as far as what more people would have watched in The Longest Yard. But I do want to shout out 8 Crazy Nights, which is a cartoon Adam Sandler movie about Hanukkah. That movie is so hilarious. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. It's one of my favorite winter seasonal movies.
Guess I got to go watch it.
That's what I'll say about that. The NFL is such a volatile league, and players don't last very long. But the reason for that is obvious in that it's a physical sport. Outside of the quarterback position, players' average lifespan is about 5 years. So that creates for a lot of players that just fall off the face of the earth. They just disappear. And today we're going to talk about a few of those and create a little nostalgia for you.
Yeah, I'm going to start with a pretty easy one. I'm going to go with Antonio Brown, won a Super Bowl and kind of dipped.
Right. Ever since that he was traded to the Bills for literally 30 minutes. He just fell off after that. He's traded to the Bills, traded to the Raiders, went to the Bucks. He actually played really well that year. The Bucks won the Super Bowl, and that's one of my biggest testaments to Brady getting carried that year to the Super Bowl is Mike Evans, baller, Godwin, baller. Antonio Brown was hooping that year before he just quit.
And all of that, and Gronk slid right in there too.
And Gronk just came out of... Gronk, I'm convinced, could come back to the league today and still succeed.
Yeah.
Because he's never been super explosive. He just has such great body control, and he's so wide that he can
great hands
off.
too.
Yeah.
Contact catches.
Yeah. Speaking of Antonio Brown, another one that's kind of been hit by the CTE bug recently. How about Chandler Jones?
Ooh, Chandler Jones. Kind of disappointed in his brother, John Jones. Hangs out with him a lot, but can't really hold him back from doing what he's doing on socials.
He could definitely put him in his place if he wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, you're John Jones. You're not going to... I mean, he is a D lineman, and he's lashing out.
You think he stands a chance against John Bones Jones?
I mean, CTE rage, never really seen it. Could be pretty dangerous, so I don't know.
Yeah. CTE rage is the reason why Tom Brady's wife cheated on him.
Yeah, and CTE can make you show your genitalia on social media, so...
Forgot about that. Totally forgot.
Pretty crazy. All right, I'm going to go with a more current one. I've seen a lot of it today, actually. Darren Waller.
Oh, big fallout for Darren Waller.
You know, he found out his zodiac sign told him to retire, apparently.
That's actually crazy. Darren Waller, I mean, he hasn't been producing, obviously, but give yourself a little bit of credit. You did have Daniel Jones. But I guess, didn't he say he's moving on into something new? Or is he just retiring?
Yeah, his zodiac sign, according to Darren Waller, is a manifesting influencer.
Is he a Capra son?
He might be a Capra son. So, is it Capra son or Capricorn?
Or a Scorpion?
Or a Scorpio. Is it Scorpion or Scorpio? I think it's Scorpion. Yeah, Scorpion. But yeah, Darren Waller, I mean, he was pretty garbage last year, so
Garbage.
Maybe a Zodiac sign just said, "You suck at football." I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Las Vegas tight ends just don't work out. I don't know.
What else you got?
You know, I was watching some Todd Gurley highlights earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, he was so electric for a couple of years. Him and Melvin Gordon went in the top 10 that year as running backs, and I think are part of the reason people don't draft running backs that high anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I think even leading up to that Super Bowl, dude's just getting taken out of the game, and they're asking him in media, and he's trying to come up with a good answer for it, but everyone knows what's going on. His body's just falling apart.
Just the running back position relies so much on pure athleticism, speed, being able to cut, strength, contact balance, and not as much skill. I don't think that's a controversial take. As far as the football positions, I think running back takes the least amount of actual, like, practicable skill. So I think that creates for a lot of players that they just lose a step, and it's donezo. You know, another one I was thinking in that category, Le'Veon Bell, kind of the same thing, right? He took that year off.
Yeah, I think strength and durability for power rushers more so is really all they need.
Plays better in the long run.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, even Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is not as elusive as he used to be, but he's just so big.
Yeah, big boy, and he hits hard.
And Joe Mixon hits very hard.
He's got a good right.
It's a good point. Definitely still the hardest hitting running back in the league.
Yeah.
Pun intended. And just falls forward every time he gets tackled.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, that's what makes Derrick Henry so lethal. So he's gonna get 1 yard. He's gonna get one. You know.
Yeah, going down to the Mixon rabbit hole a little bit. I don't think him going to the Texans was a great idea, especially they extended him after that trade. Shout out Joe Mixon for getting that bag, but when looking at yards per carry for Mixon, he was actually last in the league, even though he finished top 5 in yards. Yeah. That should tell you how much the Bengals run the ball with Jake Browning.
Yeah, it's just tough to run the ball when you can't trust your quarterback to throw it down the field.
How about Carson Wentz?
Crazy fall off for Carson Wentz.
Super sad.
At one point, Jalen Hurts was being used as a decoy because Carson Wentz had to be on the field.
Yeah, Eagles fans were actually pissed when they draft Hurts.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, I don't know what really happened with him. I couldn't really tell you. He had a great first couple of years, as did Jared Goff. And Jared Goff is kind of rebounding now a little bit, but Wentz is not.
And was that an ACL tear?
Yeah. Hey, Carson came, and he wins. I was thinking of Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry had a great first couple of years with the Dolphins.
You know, I think the Browns just ruin players. I really do.
I mean, when Odell and Jarvis Landry teamed up with the Browns, we were all so excited.
Yeah. Especially hearing OBJ talk about now how he thinks he was sent to Cleveland to die. Looking at during the time he was there, seemed very excited.
I totally forgot that his dad made a low light video to get him off the Browns.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
That's so funny.
And I didn't believe when they were talking about after games he was telling players to come get me. I was like, there's no way he's saying that, but now I believe it.
Yeah, another one, Jarvis Landry. How about Devontae Parker? I mean, both of those Dolphins receivers. Ryan Tannehill sent them to the grave.
Yeah, for sure. Is Devontae Parker still playing for the Patriots?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Hey,
you know who isn't playing yet, though?
That money.
Michael Thomas hasn't been signed yet.
Michael Thomas. I've been down on Michael Thomas for 2 years now. I don't know why people are still, even executives in the league.
Yeah, why has Slant Boy not been signed yet?
I think Slant Boy, that's another one that's Carson Wentz level sad for me, just because I think he was just a top 5 receiver for the next 10 years and just fell off.
Today, Bailey and I are going to go back and forth drafting our ideal heights in a girl and build a starting 5.
All right, I'm going to go with 5'9" here.
It's a great height.
It's a great height.
Has to be at the top of boards for most people.
Yeah.
Just enough above average to look out for the kiddos.
Yep.
But not,
Still normal.
Still normal.
Yeah.
We do not shame bodies on this podcast.
Absolutely not. We do shame appearances, though, so if bodies end up in that conversation, it just happens.
I'm going to play you off here and go get my big man, and I'm going to go get the 5'10" spot. I love 5'10". It's a nice, even number. It's not 6 foot. It still gives me a good wiggle room of 5 inches above her, but that's still so far above average that my kids need to be at least 6'4".
5'10" is a great pick. I'm going to go with 6 foot. Definitely a
Interesting.
confirmation of D1 babies.
A little bit of a reach, but I can't deny how elite it is as far as looking out for the offspring.
Yeah, I'm always looking for greatness and potential, so I'm going to go with 6 foot.
You know, my biggest thing against 6 foot is a lot of times the proportions aren't there. So a lot of people are big on, at least girls are, what their weight is. If you're 6 foot and you're curvy and like still proportional and you're, 165 pounds, like I have no issue with that just because you're tall. Like it makes sense. Your bones, you have more bone, you're going to be heavier. But a lot of tall girls are so skinny and they don't want to add weight. So they're just, tall and flat.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you ever find someone that's 6 foot and proportional, that's such an elite gem, in my opinion. I'm going to go the other direction with my second pick. I'm going to take 5 foot even.
Ooh, 5 foot flat. I had that in my list of picks. Great pick.
A lot of spicy girls are 5 foot even.
Yeah, definitely teetering the line of spicy and annoying, but
Right.
yeah.
Lots of Latinas usually.
Yes, very much so.
Not looking out for the kids very much, but man, is it just a beautiful height.
Yep, it's good height. I'm going to go with 5'3" here.
5'3", definitely had 5'3" on my board. Couldn't go without it.
Not too short, but still petite.
Yeah.
Smaller, I
Right,
guess.
still smaller.
I like 5'3". I'm going to go there.
And you're jumping in. I wanted 5'3". I'm going to go 5'2".
5'2", okay.
So kind of similar to 5'3", short enough to be considered a short girl, not in that middle range. I feel like the middle range is kind of tough for me. I don't really want it just because it's so common for a girl to be 5'5", 5'6". But
Yeah.
5'2" is definitely still a short girl.
For sure. I'm going to go with 5'11" here.
5'11".
Not 6 foot.
Yeah.
Definitely still on the D1 train here.
Yeah. And
I like 5'11" girls.
a lot of girls I think that say they're 5'11" are actually 6 foot though.
If you can convince someone you're actually 5'11", it means you probably got some good traits in the personality department.
Yeah. Like no guy on his Tinder profile is saying he's 5'11", because if you're actually 5'11", you'd say 6 foot.
Yeah, if you're 5'11" and you're actually 5'11", you're actually 6 foot. It's just
Right.
how it works.
Right.
You're not going to round up.
It's like on Tinder, I'm 6'7", even though I'm 6'3", it's, 6'3" is close to 6'4", which is only 3 inches off of 6'7", and since girls think 3 inches is nothing,
Carry the 2. Yeah.
I'm 6'7" then.
Yep, for sure. Absolutely. You wear makeup, I'm going to add 2 inches. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I'm going to go with 5'8". About as low as I'm willing to go for tall girls. Still above average for sure. Obviously 5'9" is the cream of the crop. 5'10" I like a lot. I'm not willing to go below 5'8", but I think 5'8" is still a solid fourth player on the team.
Really good value for this point in the draft. Kind of forgot about 5'8" there.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, I'm going to go 5'4" here. I think some of the best girls you meet are 5'4".
Interesting.
I think it's actually
Bailey's definitely got a girl he's talking to right now. It's 5'4". That's why he said it.
also a great value this deep in the draft as well.
Yeah. I'm really glad you left 5'1" on the board because I got my 3 guards at 5 foot, 5'1", 5'2". My middle man at 5'6", and my 5'10" big is going to have to handle some big heights on your team. But I got some solid shooters.
It's true. I like that pick. Can't go wrong there. Especially at this point in the draft, you kind of got to pick what you can get. Yeah, I don't know.
We're way past our bedtime. Thanks for coming into the Cup Check podcast. We appreciate all the support. Please leave recommendations for topics you want to see us talk about, especially in the first couple of videos here. We're going to need some to keep us going. A like and a subscription is always very much appreciated. And until next time, never forget, make sure to get your cup checked.